Hi everybody, I hope you're getting on great with your self-care over the last week. I hope you had a lovely week and enjoyed looking into your happiness and doing some gratitude if you did over the last week. If not, you can go and you can look at that video if you want. In it I talked about how you have a happiness set point and how, you know, this whole concept of when I'll be happy when, that is a bit of a myth, and that there's certain things that we can do that increase our overall level of happiness. So there's a video there in YouTube, or you can email me if you want a copy of it. It's about 10 minutes long, and I hope you enjoyed looking at it if you did, or as I said, if you wish to get access to it, just send me an email, ellen@exhale.ie, or you can fill out a contact form on the website, exhale.ie. So how was your week? If you reflect on it now, did you practice any self-care? And if you did, how did you find your week was? Did you find that it was easier, that you were in better form, that you had more energy, that you had more patience, that you had more good feeling about yourself? What did you notice, or did you notice anything, or have you noticed now, as we're over halfway through our self-care campaign for Easter, for Lent? What are you noticing? What if you pause and reflect now? And perhaps you need to do some more self-care every day, or maybe are you doing too much? And is it a case of now coming into a time of just resting or doing less for yourself, or for less in terms of self-care, but maybe that's actually in itself more, if you know what I mean. I'd love to hear from you, regardless of how you're. If you feel that you're doing loads of self-care, if you feel like you're doing very little self-care, I'd love to hear from you. So today's video, what is it all about? Well, I wanted to talk to you about chakras and energy centers. And I know this might be something that's a little bit different or a little bit out there for some of you. And it certainly was for me when I first came across it about 10 years ago. As I've mentioned before, I'm a scientist by background, so a lot of the stuff that I first heard of when I heard of, chakras and energy centers, I was like, oh, it's a bit hippy dippy, it's a bit woo-woo, a little bit out there, and what you can't see doesn't really exist, and had loads of judgments around it. And it's only when I started looking into it and really finding out more information about each chakra that I could see why this is so important. Because when you think about it, this society that we live in tends to think about money is the biggest value of all time. We put huge value on things that are expensive and less value on things that are cheap. And we tend to think that success is defined by how much that we earn, when really it comes down to energy. And you know that if you've ever been sick, or if you're sick at the moment, and when you don't have energy, you actually can't do the things that you want to do, or you have a new appreciation for life as well, and for yourself, because you could be the most wealthiest in terms of money person in the world. But if you don't have energy, and if you don't have motivation or a good energy within you, then you're pretty miserable. So really in this field we say that energy is your currency, not money. And we're all about balancing energy. We're all about bringing more energy into the body, more energy into your life, and how that shows up could be in terms of motivation, in terms of intuition, in terms of feeling connected to yourself. But our main motivation is to bring a balance into those energy centers, or into the overall energetic well-being of the body, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And how energy comes into the body and out of the body is through those chakra that you might have heard of, you might know to a greater or lesser degree, some information about them. And today I wanted to give you a little bit of information about the energy centers, and I wanted to give you a download of a chakra discovery test, which is available for download underneath this video. And it's a great little test to go through for you to determine what chakra maybe needs attention within you. So what are the chakras? As I said, they're energy centers. They're portals in which energy enters and leaves the body. And they're very important in our lives for many different reasons. So let me go through them, and I'll give you a little bit of information on each one. The first one is the root chakra, and that is it vibrates to the same frequency as the color red. So it's seen as red. It's the root. It comes from your pelvis, down your legs, and out the soles of your feet. Now, what it's about in our everyday life is it's about security. It's about survival. It's about instinct, and it's about a feeling of being safe in the world. It is very, very important because without the root chakra, it's a bit like, a tree that doesn't have deep roots. If we feel that way and our root chakra isn't fully tended to or fully really grounded and rooted within us, then it can feel like we're unstable. It can feel like we're insecure. It can feel like anything that comes along is just going to knock us for six. It's going to knock us over like a tree with very shallow roots. That we're not feeling confident in our ability to cope with life. We're not feeling secure within ourselves and the fact that we can handle anything that comes our way. It can feel a little bit like we're on edge and feel like we're a little bit up here going, oh God, what's going to happen next? But when we're rooted and grounded within ourselves and we work on that root chakra, we can feel like this is my place in the world. I can, no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. That I can handle anything that comes my way. I'm not inviting it in, of course, but I can handle anything that comes my way. After the root chakra, we come up to the sacral chakra, which is just either side of the belly button, just below the belly button. It's orange, so it vibrates at the same frequency as orange. And actually, just to note, there is a camera called a Carillion camera that has been developed that will photograph your aura and photograph your chakras. So it's a really cool thing to be done if you ever see it at any of the kind of mind, body, spirit festivals. The sacral chakra then, as I said, is orange, just below the belly button, and that is all around our creativity, our expression, our sensuality, our sexuality. It's our pleasure center. It's the area where we allow ourselves to enjoy life and enjoy all our senses. It's our feminine energy as well. It's where, obviously for women, is where, our womb is and our ovaries are. But for men also, they have a feminine energy. So what that means is it's not the submissive energy that we kind of tend to think of when we think of femininity, but it's that real nurturing and nourishing, mothering energy. It's that energy of being, of just allowing ourselves to do nothing, to rest. It's the energy of self-love, of compassion, of when we make mistakes, just putting our arms around ourselves going, it's okay, you're okay, let's do better next time, or what can I do to support myself in this moment? It's a very soft energy, but it's a very powerful and beautiful chakra to work on, because in there also lies our creativity. And so many people say to me, oh, I'm not a creative person. Just because you might not paint or draw on a regular basis doesn't mean that you're not a creative person. When you think of it, if there's a problem that comes into your life and you need to find a solution, that's your creativity. If you need to see the bigger picture, if you need to think outside the box, that's your creativity. If you need to come up with an idea for a holiday, that's your creativity. So we are creative beings, and we're constantly creating with our thoughts, our words, our deeds, our actions. We're constantly creating even how we dress. We're creating a picture of how we're presented in the world. So if we want to be able to see outside the bigger picture, if we want to be very creative, then we need to work on our sacral chakra. We come up then into our solar plexus, it's just below where the ribs part, and that energy center is all about our sense of empowerment. Solar plexus energy is the color of the sun. It's the color of yellow, and it is all about stepping into our power. It's all about now. When we say power in this field, we talk about a sense of who we are and being comfortable with me. My name's Ellen. This is the work that I do. This is the person that I am, and being able to express that authentically in my life. Empowerment is being able to step in to who you are without apology for who you are and what you believe in and what you like or what you don't like. And when you think about it, we give away our power all the time. We give it away in our relationships. We give it away when we don't speak up for ourselves. We give it away when we don't make our own decisions when we go along with the crowd. But stepping into that power is a beautiful experience, and it's a really important one for all of us to find our individuality, to know that we're all connected, but also to be able to say, what feels right for me, to be able to speak up for ourselves, to be able to express that part of ourselves, express all of ourselves in everything that we do. Then we come up to the heart chakra, which is front and back of the center of the chest, where the energetic heart is, not where the physical heart is. And you can imagine the heart chakra is all about love, all about giving and receiving love and being open to love. And a lot of my clients say to me, I've built a wall over my heart. And we tend to do that because this is a chakra that is very, very powerful, but is very, very easily hurt. through our relationships at home and our family, our romantic relationships as well. And it can become damaged over time, and we can build up this wall as a defense. But the thing is with that wall is that it keeps out the good as well as the bad. And an energy in this field, we want to be able to brick by brick, take away that wall so that we can allow love out, but also allow love in, to give and to receive, and to attract in whatever partner that we want to attract in who's also got an open heart. It's an area we focus on a lot through my meditation, especially. We journey into the heart a lot to help to tend to those wounds, to help to heal them, so that we can open our heart more and we can learn to love and love with a fully open heart. And to live that way is a beautiful experience. After the heart, we come up into the throat, and the throat is blue in colour. The green is the colour of the heart, though some people see it as pink. Blue is the colour of the throat chakra. Throat chakra is all about as you can imagine, it's how you express yourself. We use our voices. But it's not only about expression and communication, it's also about our authenticity. So it's very much twinned with the solar plexus as well. When we come to the throat chakra, it's about allowing ourselves to be who we are. A lot of people think with the throat chakra that it is about, telling people what we think of them. It's about becoming more expressive. But for some people, that's not appropriate for them, or that's not their nature. A lot of people think that if I'm an introvert, I have to become an extrovert if I open up my throat. That's not the message of the throat chakra. The message of the throat chakra is, if you're an introvert, let yourself be an introvert, and live your life authentically. If you're an extrovert, let yourself be an extrovert. And it also means it comes into that authenticity, also comes into how you live your life. I always remember seeing a program where, there was this influencer and they were all talking about, or she was talking about how she lives her life, and she's a vegan and she does this and she does that and she's always on the juices. I think it was an A.B. Huberman program. And next minute then you cut to her on a night out and she's doing cocaine. So that's not somebody with a balanced throat chakra. And of course this is a fictional character, I should say, but I just thought it was a great example of it, of somebody who isn't expressing themselves in everything that they do. So they're not living an authentic life. They're saying one thing and doing another. And when we come into the throat chakra, that's what we were called to come into alignment for, is to live fully authentically with who we are, and to really accept that as well. Then we come up into the third eye, and the third eye is all about illusion, but it's also, as you say, or what we see. It's connected very much to the ears too, so what we see and what we hear. When we talk about illusions in the third eye, it's like, well, what illusions do I subscribe to? What illusions, group illusions, media illusions do I feel that I have to be a size 10 before I'm happy? Is that an illusion that works for me? Is the illusion of you have to have 2.4 children and an amazing house before it's successful? Is your illusion of a perfect woman have to look a certain way, or a perfect man? What are the illusions that I subscribe to? What are the images that I hold to be true for me? And really, do they start working for me? Are they working for me? Are they the illusions that I want to let go of? How can I express my individuality authentically? And how do I create that picture out in the world? Then the crown chakra spins upwards, up into our connection. A lot of people think it's about our religious beliefs. For some people it is. For me, I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. So I believe a lot that there's something out there. And I connect very much with nature. But I believe that there's a bigger magic than us, but I don't name it anything like God, Buddha, or Allah. Some people do, and that's their spirituality and that's their religion, and that's absolutely wonderful. And the crown chakra is about connecting to something, whatever it is. It could be a tree, it could be an angel, it could be God, Buddha, Allah, it could be anything at all. But not only is it about that spirituality and what brings you joy in your spiritual life, it's also about connecting to your sense of purpose. What is my purpose? What is it that I'm here to do? And when we connect into the crown chakra, we begin to get to know and to understand what that purpose is. this is a very brief run through of the chakras and what each chakra is about. I do run courses, morning courses on each of the chakras individually. So if you felt like one is really jumping out at you, I'd really recommend a resource like that. But start maybe with the chakra self-discovery test that's uploaded for you down below. And then get on Google and Google that chakra, and it'll start telling you things that you can do to help to bring more energy into that particular chakra in your body. Fascinating area, the chakras. I mean, it even goes down to, things that happen in your childhood and what chakra that you would affect. So it's an area that I could talk about for years, nearly, for a very long time anyway. I just wanted to give you a brief overview of it. If you're interested, do the chakra self-discovery test, maybe come to a workshop or go online and have a Google either. So thank you for listening, and maybe this week just tend to a chakra in whatever way feels comfortable for you. And I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next week in your inbox. Thanks a million. Bye.